You know, they always say that forgiveness has more to do with you than it does with other people. But I think that we have a hard time forgiving ourselves, so we hold grudges against other people, thinking that it's harming them when really it's just inflicting harm on ourselves. Holding a grudge is simply just the inability for you to take accountability for how you allow for someone to treat you. Some of us can't face that we allow for someone to betray us yet again. And this grudge that you're setting is not even a grudge on someone else. It's a grudge on yourself because you're too afraid to look in the mirror. You're too afraid to get to the root of why you allow for this to happen. So subconsciously you go through life feeling like you have to be right about these situations so that you can avoid that pain again. When really all you're doing is attracting that pain to you because subconsciously you don't want it to happen. The things that you don't want, the things that you are most afraid of to the core, are the things that you attract. People always say, oh, well, I fear money. Why can't I attract that? But you don't fear money. You love money. But you have a toxic relationship with it. It's almost like having a toxic relationship with holding a grudge, with betrayal, with shame, resentment, abandonment, rejection. All of those things you attract to you in toxicity. So when you are attracting money, it's scarce because your fear is coming from the scarcity of that money. When you attract people who betray you or abandon you or reject you, you have that subconscious fear within yourself that those are the things that are going to happen in this relationship. A lot of times we subconsciously hold grudges from like childhood, from being betrayed by friends or cousins or classmates or whatever. And we subconsciously hold that grudge in our heads because when we're kids, we're not able to really process someone betraying us or rejecting us or abandoning us. So now we're going through life being afraid of this very thing, but not really understanding where the root of it has come from. So now you are constantly attracting people who abandon you, who betray you, who reject you. And you can't figure out why, because you know it's not necessarily from romantic relationships, or maybe you've worked out and healed through your romantic relationships. And then you get to, okay, well, maybe it's a mother wound or a father wound. And so you start healing those things. And I'm telling you all of this because this has happened for me. Like, this is a breakthrough that I've had this week, is forgiveness, because there was something in my subconscious mind that I had not resolved. But I didn't realize that I didn't resolve it because it happened so early in childhood. I experienced this type of abandonment, rejection, betrayal type thing really early in childhood. But it was from something that was so like minuscule to me now that I wouldn't have ever thought about now. But it still had a stain on my inner child, little Dest. She still was hurt from that. She still felt abandoned. She still felt rejected. And it's about romance. So subconsciously, I was attracting those same experiences because I needed for someone to validate me. I needed for someone to see me and to choose me, because that situation was from me not being chosen by someone. And it wasn't even really, I didn't really think that it hurt my feelings that bad. I really didn't. But little Dest was hurt, but she didn't know how to process those feelings. So she held that grudge subconsciously and held it throughout life. I'm 31 now. And this is something that happened when I was like 7, maybe. I don't know. And honestly, that's a really early age to be getting rejected by a boy. And I shouldn't have even been thinking about stuff like that. But I was, and that was something that happened. And, I'm not going to shame myself for it anymore. I'm not going to shame myself by telling you guys that that's what happened. We all have our trauma. We all got our shit. But that's what happened. And he basically, like, this is what happened. So I don't remember what grade I was in. I was in elementary school though, because I remember the elementary school that I was at. But wait, let me tell you how I even got to this revelation. So I was doing a meditation by Aaron Dowdy. If y'all don't know him, he's a little advanced. And at one point in time, I thought his videos were like generic, and I didn't really want to like look at his videos or anything, but then I was led to them. It's a whole story behind how I got led to him, but we'll get into that another day. But I was doing the meditation, the guided meditation, and I knew that that was something that I wanted to subconsciously get rid of, because I'm like, why am I attracting these situations still? Like, I'm a catch, you know, like literally, and not to like be, you know, cocky or anything, but like, I really, like, you know, I wasn't understanding what the issue was. So I had a long talk with God, and the next morning I woke up, I came across his page again. I was like, okay, I felt called to watch his videos, watch the videos, came across the meditation, went through the meditation, and that is the image that came up to me, because it was a guided meditation. And if you've listened to guided meditations before, they tell you to like visualize certain things, or you go into this really deep like relaxation state where it's almost like you're asleep but you're awake, kind of. I don't know how to explain it. You just kind of have to go through a really deep guided meditation to understand what I'm trying to tell you. But when the image came up, I was like, what the hell? This has been holding me back for so long. But then after that, I felt so much lighter, so much more free. My energy feels different. I feel like I look different. I don't know, like things just feel different. And there was this energy that really left my body when I did this meditation. I honestly can't explain it. If you have ever experienced anything like esoteric, I guess, I don't really know the proper word for it, but like if you've ever really experienced God, then you know that what I'm talking about is something that you really just can't explain. So the energy that I got up off me was that of when I was in elementary school. This little boy asked me to be his girlfriend. He gave me a bag of candy, and we were standing in the car line together. It was like the last day of school, and I'm like, damn, you know, I had a crush on him for so long, and the last day of school he asked me out, and now, you know, we're leaving for the summer, and I'm probably not going to see him again for like another 2 months or so. So then when he left, he got in the car with this other little girl that, like, she was a grade behind us because she failed a grade. I know that's not relevant, but, and I'm not laughing at her, but, well, I kind of am, but she failed a grade, so she was a grade behind us. So she like got out early or something, and he got in the car with her and went home with her. And I was like, and then when we showed back up at school, he was with her, and I'm like, I thought you were my boyfriend. You know. So I say all that to say that that very small detail of my life held me back for so long, really was the root of my abandonment, rejection wound from like men. And this is probably TMI. Well, what I just said was probably TMI, but that's the only way I could explain to you what I mean by like forgiveness, and what forgiveness truly means, and why it's so important to dive deep within yourself so you can remove these blockages that are holding you back in life. Your need to be right, your fear of looking in the mirror and feeling that shame, feeling that guilt, feeling that resentment that you already feel. You're just avoiding it by holding this grudge, thinking that it's hurting someone else, when really rubber glue, what sticks off for me sticks back to you. That's a real thing. Something like that. I don't really know what the saying is, but it's literally you. You're holding a grudge against yourself. It's not about them. So Don't hold a grudge against yourself. Get to the root of why you're feeling this way, why this is happening, why this keeps occurring. Because I guarantee you, like, once you figure it out, like, your energy is just going to be so much different, so much more light. I just feel so much more free. I feel so much more, I just feel like I can do anything now. I feel like that held me back for so long, and I didn't even realize that it was holding me back, which is the craziest part, because it was like such a small part of my life, like probably the least amount of trauma that I've been in, but that small seed that was planted grew this big tree. And as I'm chopping down the tree, I'm like, okay, yes, this is it. Yes, this is it. And I'm like, okay, well, no, because I still feel the pain. So no, like, I have to keep chopping the tree down. But as I would like chop the tree all the way down, it would keep growing because the root of it was still embedded in my subconscious mind. So the tree kept growing. No matter how much I healed, no matter how much I tried to change things about myself, how much I tried to dive into my mother and my father wounds that I've had, betrayal wounds from other relationships, the root of it was something so small, a seed that was planted and that grew from my tears. And it grew into this big tree that turned out to be like a tree of shame, abandonment, rejection. And now that I've gotten to the root of it and like tore out the roots, I planted a new seed. A seed of, I am worthy of love. Like, there's no rejection, there's no abandonment to continue to feel. Like, I've literally, I feel like I can't even explain to you guys like how it feels to finally get to the root of something that has been plaguing you for so long. So I encourage you to get to the root of whatever it is that's plaguing you, and I guarantee you, you're gonna feel so much more better. You're gonna feel so much more free. You're gonna start attracting things that's not even just things, but like, you're gonna be attracting things about yourself, knowledge about self, knowledge about your purpose, knowledge about everything in life. And I'm just excited for this new chapter because I feel like it's been something that I've needed to like finish for so long. It's like washing clothes when you know you have a basket full of clothes but you keep avoiding it, but when you finally take them out of the laundry room or the bathroom, wherever you keep your dirty clothes, put them in the washer, wash them, let them get clean, and then you put them in the dryer, and then you take them out of the dryer, fold them up, put them away, and you know how much, like, how accomplished you feel? Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, once you really tackled a task in the house that was taking too long to finish. That's how I feel. And I'm just standing here admiring the work. Like, you know how you walk into a room that you've cleaned up and like you cleaned the fuck out of that room? That's how I'm feeling. Like, I keep going back like, I did that. I healed that. Okay? So I think that's all I wanted to say. Forgive yourself. Don't hold these grudges, because you're holding a grudge against yourself and you're blocking your blessings. You're closing your heart off to the things that you truly want, and they're not going to come to you because you think you're harming someone else when really you're harming yourself. So forgive yourself. Don't worry about forgiving nobody else, because you don't have to forgive them, but you have to forgive yourself. All right, so I hope that you guys have the most amazing day, night, whenever you're watching this ever. Don't forget to leave me a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you feel called to, and if you're a creep, thank you for being here. I hope you all receive this message well, and I will see you the next time that we get to hang out.